All right. Happy Friday, everyone. I hope that your morning is starting off really, really well. This is my co-partner, Grant. So I haven't introduced him, I don't think, this week, but he's been helping me throughout the week with classes and giving you something to look at. So Grant is a great partner as far as yoga goes. And he does a lot of great modifications. So if your back is hurting, maybe you can take a look at him to see any modifications that he's doing as well. And then we're going to go ahead and start today in standing. And you can have the feet hip width distance apart and have the feet driving into the floor. And you want to lift up through the sternum, lift up through the chest, and then pull the shoulder blades together behind the back. So you can have the hands just pointing with the fingers down. You can face the palms forward if that feels good to you. But I want you to get really tall through the back of the neck and close the eyes so we can all arrive in this present space together. So in a moment, we'll begin to breathe, but I want you to start by bringing all of your awareness inward. Let go of your morning. Let go of the day to come. And then all together here, let's take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out of the mouth. Big inhale in. Open mouth, exhale, sigh it out. 2 more times. Inhale deeply through the nose. Open mouth, exhale, sigh it out. And then one last time. Deeper inhale. Feel the expansion through the ribs and the lungs. And then exhale everything out of the mouth. Let's seal the lips. Seal the eyes if they're not. Bring the hands together in front of the heart. So as we enter another round of things closing down, Grant and I were talking about how can we spread more of the good stuff and let go of the bad stuff. So think about how you enter your day. What can you do yourself as you encounter other people, whether that's virtually or in person? How can you spread more of the good and let go of the bad? So as we take a moment here, open your heart, put a big smile on your face, and think about those people that are serving us, that are working hard right now, and see if you can send them a little bit of love. And then we'll blink the eyes open. Keep that smile on your face. And let's go ahead and release the hands. You can bring the hands to the hips, or you can bring the hands to the sides of the body. Make sure the feet are hip width distance apart and not too wide and not too narrow so that you would fall over, but really feel right underneath the hip bones, the ankles. And as you drive the big toe into the floor, can you lift up a little bit taller through the sternum? And then I want you to rock backwards, lift the toes, and then rock forward and slightly lift the heels. And do that 2 more times. Rock backwards, lift the toes, rock forward and lift the heels. And feel that grounding of the feet, rock from side to side. And then as you find stillness in the center, now bring the palms to face forward. On your next inhale, we're going to bring the arms out and up. As you do so, lift up onto the tippy toes. Come up really nice and high. Keep the lift of the heels, and we're going to forward fold all the way down. So keep the lift of the heels with control. You might have to go a little bit slower than normal. Forward fold all the way down. Release the hands to the floor. Release the heels. Inhale, bring the hands to the shins. Reach the crown of the head forward. And then exhale to forward fold. Arms are going to come out to a V shape. Inhale to rise all the way up. Come back up onto the tippy toes. Palms touch, and then exhale the hands and the heels down. Let's do that one more time. Inhale out and up. Lift the heels up, palms touch. Keep the lift of the heels as you forward fold. Notice that shake in the calves and the ankles. Come all the way down, and you might go a little bit slower. Release the hands and the heels. Inhale the hands to the shins. Reach the crown of the head forward. Exhale to forward fold. Navel comes to the spine. Bend in the knees. Inhale to rise. Come all the way up. Palms are going to touch. Lift up onto the heel, or lift the heels up. And then as you exhale, bring the hands and the heels down. Whew. Close the eyes. Take a big, deep breath in and a deep breath out. Blink the eyes open. Inhale the arms out and up. Lift the heels up as you do. And then as you exhale, we'll forward fold. Notice if you are finding a little bit more stability into the calves, release the hands and release the heels. Pause here, grab for opposite elbows and just bring the weight into the toes. So you'll rock forward and let the torso hang heavy with the arms. Tuck the chin slightly towards the chest and just start to sway from side to side. You might notice this in the low back and the hamstrings, and then also in the glutes. Can you bring the heart a little bit closer to the front of the thighs? Take one more full breath, either moving or finding small. And then let's release the hands down towards the feet. And then you're going to bring the feet as wide as your mat. And then have the toes pointed out. And you can go ahead and still point forward, Grant. Take a big inhale to lift the heart forward. And then exhale, bend the knees, drop the sit bones, and find your squat pose. You can bring the hands to start to the thighs, but reach up through the heart. Drop the sit bones a little bit low. So I want you to find a comfortable spot. If you need to widen the feet or if you need to bring them narrow, go ahead and do so. But feel the knees pointing out towards the pinky side toe, and then drop the sit bones a little bit lower. You're going to feel this in the inner thighs, the hips, the glutes, and the back. And then if you want now to add a little bit more stability to the pose, you can bring the arms out in front of you. As you do so, sit a little bit lower. Feel the knees point out towards the heel, towards the pinky side toe, and then drop the sit bones towards the heels. Take one more full breath. And then we're going to release the hands to the floor, straighten the legs, tuck the chin, and wiggle the booty from side to side. You should feel that in the hips. Really nice. Take a big inhale, lengthen the heart forward. And then as you exhale, let's drop the sit bones again, find your squat pose. So when you do this, I want you to drop the sit bones, lift the sternum like you're trying to lift the center of the chest towards the chin, and then drop the shoulder blades. Hands can come to the heart now. Take another full breath in and a full breath out. Keep this position of the legs. I want you to be more at the top of the mat. So actually, sorry, Grant, I did make you turn. Let's go ahead and straighten the legs. And just so we're all facing the same way, let's face in one direction. So make sure you're facing my direction. Come to the top if you're at a mat or the top of your space. Find that squat position, widen the feet as wide as a mat, and then come all the way down with the sit bones. Start with the hands at the hips or at the heart, whichever feels more comfortable to you, but drive the sit bones down towards the floor. Belly button pulls towards the spine. Take one more full breath. And then now we're going to keep this squat position. Hands come to the floor. Keep the left foot where it is. Press the palms into the floor. You're going to step the right foot all the way back. Come onto the ball of the foot. Reach the heel back. Take a big breath in to lengthen the crown of the head forward. And then let's soften the right knee down to the floor. Keep the right palm where it is. On your inhale, spiral the left hand up. Keep rooting the right hand into the floor as you use the left fingertips to lift and open up through that left side of the body. Find your breath. Take one more cycle here. You're going to use your inhale to unwind. Left hand comes down to the floor. Tuck the left toes and firm the right leg. Look forward and you're going to step that right foot next to the right hand. Come back into your squat pose. On your inhale, hands come to the heart. Soften the sit bones down. Next inhale, let's straighten the legs. Keep the hands at the heart. Close the eyes. Keep the feet wide. Take a big, deep breath in to grow tall. And then exhale to settle. One more breath. Blink the eyes open if they're closed. Inhale to lengthen, grow tall. Exhale to come back into your squat pose. This time, open the arms out to cactus. Feel the knees pulling towards the pinky side toe. Take one more breath in, and then keep the legs, bring the hands down to the floor. Ground the palms into the floor, step that left foot back now all the way to the back. Keep the leg firm, keep the right knee hugging to the shoulder. You're gonna reach the crown of the head forward. Take one more breath in, and then very softly lower the left knee. On the next inhale, spiral the right hand up to the ceiling. Reach the fingertips up, soften the right shoulder, and use that left hand to press up and out of the left wrist. One more full cycle of breath. And then use your inhale to unwind the right hand down to the floor. Tuck the left toes and firm the left leg. Look forward. Spring the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Find your squat pose. Inhale to come back up. Take a big inhale here and a full exhale to settle. Hands come to the hips. Inhale to rise. Wiggle the hips from side to side. Close the eyes and keep the hands at the hips or bring them to the heart. Grow nice and tall through the spine. And then notice if you are keeping your focus inward. Is the mind wandering? Can you come back to this present space here and now? Blink the eyes open. Let's go through that one more time, just a little bit faster. On your inhale, let's bring the arms out. Drop the sit bones. Keep the arms lifted right alongside the ears. Bring the belly button towards the spine. Take one more breath in to lengthen the fingertips up. Keep the legs. Exhale the hands down to the floor. Ground the palms. Step the right foot back. Lower the right knee. Keep the right palm where it is. Inhale to spiral the left hand up. Use the left fingertips to grow light out of the right wrist. You can choose to stay here, or now maybe you bring a bind into it and wrap the left hand to the low back. And if you do that, you'll tuck the left hand almost like you're tucking it into the back pocket. Take a full breath, opening up through the left shoulder wherever you are. And then let's inhale to unwind. Left hand comes all the way back down to the floor. Firm the right leg. Look forward. Spring the right leg forward next to the right hand. Find your squat pose. Hands extend up alongside the ears. Take a big, deep breath in to grow tall, and an exhale to sit a little bit lower. Inhale to come up to standing. Hands come to the hips. Big, deep breath in, and a deep breath out. Inhale, arms come up. Drop the sit bones. One more side here. Belly button comes to the spine. Soften the shoulder blades down the back. Rotate the pinkies towards one another. One more breath in to grow tall. Exhale the hands down to the floor. Ground the palms. Step the left foot back. Keep the right knee hugged to the right shoulder. Reach the crown of the head forward and keep the left leg firm. Take another full breath in, and then very gently lower the left knee. Inhale to spiral the right hand up. Use the right fingertips to get light out of the left wrist. Take another full cycle of breath, keeping the arm lifted or coming into that bind, rotating the back of the hand to the back of the sacrum. Wherever you are, open up through that right side. Soften the right shoulder away from the ear. One more cycle of breath. Use your inhale to unwind. Right hand comes down to the floor. Firm the left leg. Look forward. You're going to spring the left leg next to the right or left hand. Inhale, find your squat pose. Hands come right alongside the ears. Drop the sit bones. Grow a little bit taller through the spine. Hands come to the hips. On your next inhale, straighten through the legs. Wiggle the booty from side to side. Close the eyes. Hands come to the heart. Find your breath. Notice if the heart rate has increased. And then notice where your attention lies. This is your opportunity to shift your attention and shift your focus. We all have the choice on what we are thinking about. So if you tend to gravitate towards negativity, find something that makes you happy and that puts a smile on your face. Take one more full breath here to rest. And then we're going to bring the hands to the hips. Blink the eyes open if they're not. Inhale to grow tall through the spine. Exhale to drop the sit bones. Remember, the knees are coming out towards the pinky side toe. Keep the hands at the hips. I want you to roll the weight into the heels. See if you can lift the toes up. So you might not feel like you're lifting them up very far. And then drop the toes and come up onto the balls of the feet. Lift the heels. Let's do that one more time. Drop the heels. Try and lift the toes. Toes drop. Inhale to lift the heels. Really nice, you guys. Drop the heels, drop the hands. 1 foot at a time, step back into plank pose. Feel the shoulders right over the wrists. If you need to, you can always drop the knees to the floor. Feel the crown of the head reach forward. Shoulder blades move towards the sit bones, and the sit bones move towards the heels. Keep the belly button pulling towards the spine. Take one more full breath in, and then lift the hips into downward facing dog as you exhale. Press the palms into the mat or into the floor. Reach the heels back and feel the hamstrings like they're trying to press for the wall behind you. Take another full cycle of breath here. On the inhale, let's raise the left leg up. Look forward. Plant the foot between the palms next to the left thumb. You're going to spiral the right foot down. Make sure that the heel lines up somewhere with the back foot. It doesn't matter really where. Just find that alignment. And then with the right hand, let's come all the way up into Warrior Two. Extend the fingertips away from one another like you're trying to touch opposite walls. And you're going to scoop this left glute underneath the hip, almost like you're trying to press the left sit bone towards the right hamstring. Pull that left sit bone back. Now, as you extend the fingertips away from one another, open up through the chest. Take a full cycle of breath in and an exhale to settle. So like we did just a moment ago, I want you to try and lift the left toes up, come onto the ball of the foot. And it's almost like you're pressing the ball of the foot down and forward to lift the toes off the earth. And then set the foot down. Now lift the front of the heel up, the left heel off the floor. Pause here. Lower the heel one more time. Lift the left foot. Lower the toes and lift the heel. Should start feeling this in the calf and the shin. Lower the heel. Keep the legs exactly where they are. Left forearm comes to the left thigh. Extend the right fingertips right alongside the right ear. If that's too much, then you can always bring the right hand to the hip. Wherever you choose to be, feel the left ribs, the bottom ribs rotating up towards the ceiling so you have a little bit more rotation in the spine. And then soften that right shoulder away from the ear. Feel the right outer foot sealed to the floor. And then take another breath here, side angle. Maybe try and put a smile back on your face if it's gone. And then use the next inhale. Let's come back into our Warrior Two. Fingertips extend away from one another. Lift that left heel up once again. Keep pressing into the ball of the left foot so you can drive the foot into the floor. Very gently lower the foot and straighten through the left leg. Hinge forward at the hips. And then as you exhale, before we go down, make sure you're not hyperextending into that knee. Press into the ball of the left foot. Look down. If you tend to hyperextend, put a slight little bend in that knee. And then as you hinge forward, left hand is going to come down to the shin or the floor. And then the right hand can be at the hip or extended straight into the ceiling. Wherever you choose to be, just like we did before, rotate the left ribs up to the ceiling. And then find your balance here. Maybe close the eyes. Return back to your breath. One more cycle here. And then put a slight bend in that left knee. Look down at the left foot. Inhale to come back into warrior two. Hands come to the hips, and we're going to parallel the feet to the edges of the mat or to the floor. Inhale to lift up and out of the spine. And when you exhale, let's hinge forward all the way down. Release the hands underneath the shoulders and tuck the chin towards the chest. Roll the weight into the toes. You can keep the hands under the shoulders, or you can reach for opposite ankles, or you can bring the hands through the legs. Whatever feels good to you, roll the weight into the toes, tuck the chin just slightly, and then find your breath. We're going to be here for maybe 2 or 3 breaths. Feel the shoulders move away from the ears. See if you can feel that length in the back of the hamstrings and the low back. And then put a slight bend in the knees, rise up, keeping the hands on the floor. Pivot the right foot to the back now from where we were standing, and then just angle that left heel up. And we're going to use the left hand now to windmill up into warrior two on the opposite side. So you should be, if you were on a mat, you'd be facing the back side of the mat. Sink into that front knee. Scoop the right glute underneath the hip, almost like you're trying to point the right glute towards the left hamstring. See if you can press into the ball of the right foot, extend the fingertips away from one another, and then soften the shoulders. And if the stance is too wide, you can always shorten the stance, but really feel the left edge of the foot sealed to the floor. Soften through your shoulders. Take a full cycle of breath. And then again here, press into the right heel, and lift the toes off the floor. Keep driving the right heel into the floor, almost like you're trying to drive the heel down and back. And then place the toes back on the floor. Lift the heel up, coming to the ball of the foot. Really good. One more time. Heel comes down. Lift the toes. Keep the shape of the legs. And then toes come down, lift the heel. Really nice. Heel drops. Bring the right forearm now to the right thigh, keeping the shape of the legs. Left arm shoots right past the left ear. Rotate these bottom ribs, the right ribs, up to the ceiling. And then see if you can soften through the left shoulder. Find your breath. Little smile back on the face. Keep pressing into both feet evenly. Make sure you are breathing. Really good, you guys. Inhale to come back into warrior two. Fingertips extend away from one another. And then press into the ball of the right foot. Lift the heel. Take a full cycle of breath in to grow tall. Release the heel, straighten through the right leg. Hinge forward. Make sure you're not hyperextending through the right knee. And then when you're ready, exhale the right hand down to the shin or to the floor. Left hand can be straight up to the ceiling, or you can bring it to the left hip. And then wherever you are, remember, remember to rotate those bottom ribs, the right ribs, up towards the ceiling. That's going to give you a little bit more rotation in the torso. Now, as you feel the left edge of the foot sealed to the floor, keep pressing the ball of the right foot down. One more full breath here. Really nice work, everyone. Left hand is going to come down to the floor. Slight bend in that right knee. Walk the hands back to center. Parallel the feet to the edges of the mat. Inhale to grow tall. Look forward. And as you exhale, find your wide-legged forward fold. Hands can come in line with the heels. Tuck the chin. Soften the shoulders away from the ears and the back of the head. Roll a little bit more weight into the toes. Take one more full breath. And then let's bring the hands to the hips. Keep the chin slightly tucked, and with a flat back, we'll rise all the way up. Really good. So you can walk the feet together, or you can hop the feet together. If you hop the feet together, put a slight bend in the knees and spring together. Really good. Hands face forward. Close the eyes, soften the shoulders down the back. And then just notice your shift in awareness. Notice the shift in perspective that you have created. And then let's blink the eyes open. We're going to come into a yogi squat. So 2 different ways you can do so. You can come all the way down and just keep let me sit sideways here. You can keep the heels lifted and the sit bones kind of on top of the heels. If that's not enough space, then widen the feet a little bit wider, and then see if you can bring the heels down to the floor. So whichever one you choose, we're sitting nice and low, but we're getting that squat into the hips and into the knees. So you can keep the feet together and the knees together and the heels lifted, or see if you can come into a wider squat. Perfect. And we're all balancing. So wherever you are, you're lifting the heart up towards the chin. Lift the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. And then soften the sit bones. Soften the muscles in the face. Take one more cycle of breath here. And then with control, you can use your hands if you need to, but we're going to bring the sit bones all the way down to the floor gently. So if you can, maybe you use the hand, bring the hands behind you. You can walk the feet out in front of you, but I want you to come onto the sit bones to balance. And then once you get there, bring the calves parallel to the floor, lift the sternum up, and then you can use the hands behind the sit bones, or you can use the hands right behind the thighs for a little bit of leverage. As you do so, soften the shoulder blades down the back. To go a little bit further, you can straighten through the legs. You can keep the legs bent. You can really move the hands if you'd like. Wherever we are, wherever you choose to be, belly button pulls up to the navel, pulls up towards the sternum, and you're lifting through the heart. Take one more full breath. And then let's bring the soles of the feet together. Come all the way forward, butterfly pose. Straighten through the spine, hinge forward, bring the elbows into the thighs. Tuck the chin, whatever feels good here, but feel the inner thighs opening as you press the elbows down. Take one more full breath. And then let's rise up, stack the spine, extend the legs out in front of you. Cross the right leg over the left and keep the left leg straight. You'll flex through that left heel. Inhale to grow tall out of the spine, and then you'll twist and hug the right leg with the left arm. Bring the right hand behind you. Lift out of the sternum. And if you can keep the elbow where it is or cross it all the way over the right thigh. Belly button comes to the spine as you gaze over the right shoulder. Take a full cycle of breath. And then we'll inhale to unwind, come back to center. Extend the right leg straight. Reach the right heel forward, and then bring that left leg to cross over. Inhale to grow tall. And as you exhale, we'll twist and hug the left knee with the right hand. Left hand comes behind the body to grow tall. You can keep that hug of the leg or bring the elbow all the way over. Navel to spine, gaze over the back shoulder. Take a full cycle of breath here. On your next inhale, gently unwind. Find this comfortable seated position. Cross the legs. Rock the sit bones from side to side. And then we'll close the eyes here. Palms can face down on the knees or face up. And as you soften the eyes, relax the jaw. Soften all of the muscles in the face. And as you bring your awareness to your breath and back to your heart, let's bring the hands to the center of the chest. And as we end our practice here, let's think about how we can move off the mat and into our day and spread a little bit of the good. How can we make an impact in our immediate community with those around us? And let's end our practice together with 3 breaths in through the nose and out of the mouth. All together, inhale deeply. Open mouth, exhale. 2 more times, inhale. Open mouth, exhale. 1 last time, inhale deeply. Open mouth, exhale, sigh it out. Seal the lips, and then we'll blink the eyes open. Namaste.
Namaste.
I hope that you guys had a really great practice and hope that you were able to stay present most of the time on your mat. Remember, the mind is always thinking, so we're always going to be skipping to one thought to the next. But if we can come back a little bit to this present moment, we'll actually be living where our life is taking place in the moment. Thanks so much for joining me. Thanks, Grant, for being here. If you guys do want to take any free music lessons, then reach out to me and I'll connect you with Grant. He teaches music lessons. He's a great musician and he teaches everything from bass to guitar to ukulele to voice. So anything that you're looking for, go ahead and reach out to me and I'll connect you. Thanks for your time and I hope you have a really, really great weekend.